Okay. Well, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Terry the Wood Elf. Yes. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you? We are going to my house in Whiterun. Whiterun is my favorite town. Oh. Yes, indeed. Definitely. Let's go inside. Whiterun is my favorite city in all of Skyrim, still after all this time. So let me just introduce myself. My name is Terry. I'm Master of the Thieves Guild. I am Archmage of the College of Winterhold. I am friends with one of the coolest chicks in Skyrim, Serana. Friends at least. I don't really know what our status is, to be honest. But we hang out a lot, I will say that. I have a fucking awesome dwarven spider. He brings a lot to the table. I can tell you that much, despite him making noise constantly. But I don't really mind it, because it's kind of soothing, to be honest. His little creaks and puffs and steamy puffs and whatnot. I should call him Steamy Puff, but I don't call him that. I'm also the dragonborn. Yes. No pictures, no autographs, please. It is me. I am the dragonborn. And pretty much done everything there is to do in Skyrim, and I'm kind of like, I'm kind of just like in retirement now. I gotta kind of just hang out and help people and whatever. Go hunting, go camping with Serana and my horse, Shadowmare. Oh yes, I'm also in the Dark Brotherhood. I'm the listener of the Dark Brotherhood. No big deal. I just thought that I would start a book club. I thought that would be fun, because, you know, I actually don't know that much about Skyrim. I mean, I do know some, but I'm not like, you know, considering I'm the Archmage of the college, I'm a little bit sort of like underinformed. So I just thought, well, now that I have the time, maybe I can like, just like, you know, do some reading. And so first thing I did, well, I've been collecting books for a while. Hold on. Yeah, you can see there I got quite a few books. I've been putting books in here. I think I've been putting books in here. Oh, yeah, there's some books in here. And I went actually back to Serana's mom's study and got a shitload of books from there. Man, I wish I could drop these black books. I don't know about you, but these are so creepy. I don't like the tentacle things coming out of the water, and everything is just like black and gross. Freaks me out. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm gonna do a book club and just read some books with you guys. And if I don't pronounce the everything quite correctly, don't get on my ass, you know, I'm not a Nord, okay, so I don't really I don't know the correct pronunciation a lot of times. I'm gonna struggle with that. The Dowry. This one looks interesting. Maybe I'll keep that. Got a lot of treasure maps here, not all of which I've checked out, but anyway, this is Skyrim Book Club. This isn't Skyrim treasure map. Alright, well, let's take a seat here by the fire. Here we are. Everybody get comfortable. See my Luna moth in a jar up there. Very cool thing I picked up in an alchemist's hut. Okay. Let's check this out. I don't even remember what I was gonna do. The Dowry, right? Did I pass it? There it is. Okay. The Dowry, Ancient Tales of the Dwemer, Part 5. Is that 5? By Marobar Soul. Oh my god, okay, how long is this? Fuck, it's so long. That was my other, qualm, is how long these are. Jesus Christ. Alright, my bad. Unali was the wealthiest landowner in Gunnall, and he had over the years saved a tremendous dowry for the man who would marry his daughter, Jennifer. Jennifer. When she reached the age of consent, he locked the gold away for safekeeping and announced his intention to have her marry. She was a comely lass, a scholar, a great athlete, but dour and brooding in aspect. Ooh, we've all been there. This personality defect did not bother her potential suitors any more than her positive traits impressed them. Every man knew the tremendous wealth that would be his as the husband of Jennifer and son-in-law of I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yanale? I don't know. That alone was enough for hundreds to come to Gunnall to pay court. The man who will marry my daughter, said Yanali to the assembled, must not be doing so purely out of avarice. He must demonstrate his own wealth to my satisfaction. This simple pronouncement removed a vast majority of the suitors, who knew they could never impress the landowner with their meager fortunes. A few dozen did come forward within a few days, clad in fine Killark cloth of spun silver, accompanied by exotic servants, traveling in magnificent carriages. Of all who came, who met with Yanli's approval, none arrived in a more resplendent fashion than Waylon Nerlick. The young man, who no one had ever heard of, arrived in a shining ebon coach drawn by a team of dragons. What? His clothing of rarest manufacture, and accompanied by an army of the most fantastical servants any of Gunnall had ever seen. Valets with eyes on all sides of their heads, mid-servants that seemed cast in gemstones. Oh, maidservants, sorry. I'm a little bit far away from the screen. That's part of the problem. But such was not enough with Yanali. The man who marries my daughter must prove himself should be Anne, by the way, himself an intelligent fellow, for I would not have an ignoramus as a son-in-law and business partner, he declared. I mean, who would, really? This eliminated a large part of the wealthy suitors who, through their lives of luxury, had never needed to think much of it at all. Still, some came forward over the next few days, demonstrating their wit and learning, quoting the great sages of the past, and offering their philosophies of metaphysics and alchemy. Waylon Nerlick too came and asked Yanali to dine at the villa he had rented outside of Gunnall. There the landowner saw scores of scribes working on translations of Aldemary tracts, and enjoyed the young man's somewhat irreverent but intriguing intelligence. Nevertheless, though he was much impressed with Waylon Nerlick, Yanali had another challenge. I love my daughter very much, said Yanali, and I hope that the man who marries her will make her happy as well. Should any of you make her smile, she and the great dowry are yours. The suitors lined up for days, singing her songs, proclaiming their devotion, describing her beauty in the most poetic of terms. Jennifer merely glared at all with hatred and melancholy. Yanali, who stood by her side, began to despair at last. His daughter's suitors were failing to a man at this task. Finally, Wayland Nerilik came to the chamber. "I will make your daughter smile," he said. "I dare say I'll make her laugh, but only after you've agreed to marry us. If she is not delighted within 1 hour of our engagement, the wedding can be called off." Yanali turned to his daughter. She was not smiling, but her eyes had sparked with some morbid curiosity in this young man. As no other suitor had even registered that for her, he agreed. "The dowry is naturally not to be paid till after you're wed," said Yanali. "Being engaged is not enough." "Might I see the dowry still?" asked Wayland. Knowing how fabled the treasure was, and understanding that this would likely be the closest the young man would come to possessing it, Yanali agreed. He had grown quite fond of Wayland. On his orders, Wayland, Yanali, Glum Jennifer, and the Castellan delved deep into the stronghold of Gunall. The first vault had to be opened by touching a series of runic symbols. I know that deal. Should one of the marks be mispressed, a volley of poisoned arrows would have struck the thief. Very familiar. Yanali was particularly proud of the next level of security. A lock comprised of blades with 18 tumblers required 3 keys to be turned simultaneously to allow entry. The blades were designed to eviscerate any who merely picked one of the locks. Finally, they reached the storeroom. It was entirely empty. "By Lorcan, we've been burgled!" cried Yanali. "But how? Who could have done this?" "A humble but, if I may say so, rather talented burglar," said Wayland. "A man who has loved your daughter from afar for many years, but did not possess the glamour or the learning to impress. That is, until the gold from her dowry afforded me the opportunity." "You!" bellowed Yanali, scarcely able to believe it. Then something even more unbelievable happened. Jennifer began to laugh. She had never even dreamed of meeting anyone like this thief. She threw herself into his arms before her father's outraged eyes. After a moment, Yanali, too, began to laugh. Jennifer and Wayland were married in a month's time. Though he was in fact quite poor and had little scholarship, Yanali was amazed how much his wealth increased with such a son-in-law and business partner. He only made certain never to ask from whence came the excess of gold. Publisher's note. The tale of a man trying to win the hand of a maiden whose father, usually a wealthy man or a king, tests each suitor is quite common. See, for instance, the more recent Four Suitors of Benita by Joel Volives. The behavior of the characters is quite out of character for the Dwenmer. No one today knows their marriage customs, or even if they had marriage at all. One rather odd theory of the disappearance of the dwarves came from this and a few other tales of Marabar Sol. It was proposed that the Dwenmer never in fact left. They did not depart Nirn, much less the continent of Tamriel, and they are still among us, disguised. These scholars use the story of Azura and the box to suggest that the Dwenmer feared Azura, a being they could neither understand nor control, and they adopted the dress and manner of Chimer and Altmer in order to hide from Azura's gaze. Very interesting. Well, I feel like that was a fun story. Again, sorry about butchering the names. That I can't promise that that's not going to happen again. It was a fun story. Cute. Very cute. I feel totally chilled out by my fire with my spider. Even though I guess I knocked this over. It didn't break. That's good. What do you think, Serana? Did you enjoy it? I think she liked it. Anyway, that's it for this very first edition of Skyrim Book Club with Cherry the Wood Elf. Signing off. Until next time.